All right. Yeah.
Oh my God. So, yeah.
Sounds good.
Sweet. Uh,
And we got some fun plans here because you always ask us questions. So we got a couple questions that you've asked us that we're gonna turn the tables on you.
I don't even remember what I've asked you because I'll just ask weird random questions whenever you put those up. That's funny. That'll be cool.
yeah. And yeah, cool. Sweet. Okay, let's start. We ready?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. We're live.
We're live.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. We have a guest today.
Yes.
We have Jodie Rozycki.
There you go. You got it.
Just found out how to say her name about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know your last name until I saw it on Skype. Do you not put it on your Instagram because of the hard pronunciation, or just you don't want people to know your last name?
I had identity theft through Facebook about 8 years ago. I had my maiden name and where I worked. I had like all my information, just like didn't know. And then I was at work one day, and where I work, we shut down for 2 weeks, every 11 weeks in between semesters. And he's like, hey, is there any reason why you're filing for unemployment? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, so yeah, and he shows me, he got a letter. It's like was certified. They had my social, but they used my maiden name. And I'm like,
is it easier to pronounce than Rozycki?
Ferguson. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
And they filed for unemployment for my 2-week shutdown. So like they knew where I worked and knew, so it freaked me out.
Wow.
So getting all that squared away, they're like, don't have any of your personal information. So my middle name's Ray. So it's funny, like Facebook, my brothers call me Jode, my whole life. So I'm Jode Ray on Facebook. Jodie Ray. So yeah, I just try not to put my name out there anymore because it was such a pain in the ass to like get that squared away.
I feel like a lot of people use their first name, middle name. I feel like it's usually women that do that. I don't know if it's for sake of like not wanting people to find them, kind of like what you're talking about. But
so
that's
why, yeah.
Okay.
Now
nice to meet
like
you.
Second guessing all of my life choices.
You need to go back and check some things out. Just don't have all of your information.
I'm positive that somebody has used my social security number for something. But it's fine.
That's why you need a shredder or burn it or stuff,
Right. But even like my city, where I just say like Detroit area, you know what I mean? Just I don't put where my city, nothing. So
yeah. So tell us about yourself. And tell us. We could say it, but we're gonna make you say it. Your Instagram name and all the things, and where you live, and like a quick summary of you.
Maybe your address and your social, and we'll get this thing started again.
So my name's Jodie Ray, but Jodie Rozycki, and I'm the maker behind Mudslinging Pottery. My Instagram is mudslinging_pottery because I couldn't get the other one. I live in the Detroit area, just south of Detroit. And I've been in pottery a very long time. I did the math the other day and I was like, holy crap. I'm like at 28 years.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
28.
I started in college. So
oh my God.
I kind of was freaking out a little bit there.
Wow.
So yeah, but on and off, my kids, they're teenagers now, but when they were little, I took a little time off, that was before like social media. And now I see all these moms doing it, and I'm like, oh shit, I could have been doing it too. I just didn't think I could. I don't know, didn't even try. So my studio became like a storage catch-all room, but yeah. So I really got back into it so I started working where I teach right now 8.5 years ago. And a couple of years before that, I really kind of started getting into it again. So more like full time. So, but
where do you teach?
I teach at an awesome studio. It's also in the Metro Detroit area called the Michigan Art Center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. We've got like 220 students right now per semester. We do 4 semesters a year. They're 11 weeks long. And the funny thing is I swear, just in the past year, you know how like these shop updates people have, they like sell out in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That started happening with all of our classes. And like literally selling out, and we have like 20 spots per class, and they're like selling out in like minutes, you know. And my boss, he's like, holy crap, like he had to like open another day, like he's adding people in because people are getting really ticked off, you know, because it's just like so hot right now, like pottery, like everybody under the sun's like wants in on it, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's good for business for him. He's like totally like killing it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
And when did that happen?
Everywhere else. What was that?
Did that specifically happen at a certain time?
Yeah, like a year ago it started.
Okay.
The last like, you know, 4 semesters have been just like crazy.
And does he put a lot of money? Did he start a bunch of marketing, or was it a lot of people that are students that cross-pollinated, like telling people about it? And that's kind of how it spreads.
He doesn't really, I mean, he doesn't even have to market. We do. So I know like a few like of your episodes ago, you guys were talking about like production potters and things like that in these like studios. A lot of the studios in our area, they don't allow production potters. It's just like, they don't want them. You know, they're smaller scale. Our place is, it's like a 5,000 square foot building. It can accommodate, you know, large classes. And he does allow them. So we get a lot of them, you know, because there's no limit to what you can make. And so the class is terrible because I teach there and I like don't even know like how much classes cost because I've never like signed up for one. But I know the production potters, if you're going to run a business out of his business, he charges you an extra $100 per semester.
Oh, okay.
Get another, so each class, I think it's like $300. It's pretty like reasonable. And you get 50 pounds of clay for an 11-week semester. So if you're production, you get another 25 pounds of clay, and you get extra studio time. Like a whole like Friday afternoon that's only just, you know, dedicated to the production.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool.
That is
okay.
cool.
So what are the typical hours there? Is it like a 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. while there's classes going on, or is it
10 to 1 is the morning classes. I teach 2 morning classes, and then from 1 to 6:30 is open studio Monday through Thursday and Saturday, and then there's a 7 to 10 evening class Monday through Thursday, and no, not Saturday, yeah, just Monday through Thursday. And now there's a Friday afternoon class. So
okay? So it's very tailored to. There has to be somebody on site, like kind of proctoring it a little, like
100%. That's the owner, Mike Kuhn. He's lives and breathes. He's just there all the time.
Okay. And then the people that are saying advanced, they still have to abide by those times, except for the extra day that they get access. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a lot of time that you could be in there. So.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's pretty flexible.
I mean, we are firing 500 plus pieces a week there of student work. It's insane. Okay. Yeah.
And then like an 11-week class, that's pretty long. Like I'm used to a 6-week to 8-week normally. 11 weeks just sounds crazy, but I mean 11 times 4, that's 44 weeks. So you don't really have that much time in between sessions. Unless you take a big gap during the Christmas maybe, but
we do 2 weeks in between every semester.
Okay.
Like as an employee, we work the first week. We have to help clean the whole studio. You know what I mean? Like, and get everything fired. And then we actually have like a full week off. So it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many classes do you teach there?
Just 2. I actually was teaching 3, but I just dropped one this fall because I want to focus on my own stuff because it's, you know, kind of getting busy.
Okay.
Badass.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I need to do some more of this. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So are you 1099 there then, or do you get hourly and you're? Okay.
I'm paid hourly. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, I know that Ryan could literally ask a bajillion questions about the studio, so we're gonna stop him. What type of stuff do you do? Like, I guess like try to explain kind of not your process per se, but like what your cups look like. I know I could, but
So it's funny because like I don't know, I'm so different from where I was, you know, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Even 5 years ago, I discovered Stroke and Coat. So I
was I the one that helped you with that?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when you switched and you were just like, what?
Yes. Yeah. Like this is like a game changer. Loved it. Well, you know what's funny is I used to use Duncan's underglaze, and I really liked it because it had its own beautiful satin finish, just fired, you know, net raw. And then and discontinued it. Like Mako bought them out and it's all discontinued. So
Yeah.
I kind of was forced because I really wasn't into the high gloss look. I'm just more of like a satin-y finish person, but I'm learning to love the stroke and coat.
You should try, have you tried the Speedball? Because the Speedballs I felt like had a satiny type finish.
Well, they do. They do. The black I use on a lot of my mugs, I do, but I know reached out to you before, Ryan, like, and I feel bad like saying anything against Speedball. And they're a great company. But like the consistency of that, it's like thick pudding. You know what I mean? And the way I need it to be more like liquid, like oil. You know what I mean? Like when I use like the is it the foundations of Mako or fundamentals?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a motor oil consistency. And I like the way that runs Speedballs, just like I'm trying to smear pudding.
It's a lot of pigment.
Yeah. So
that's I've discovered Darvan 7 from Delvin at Claycon West, and he was saying put a little Darvan in there if it's not the right consistency. So that's what I've been doing. If you still have some Speedball around, maybe get if you have some Darvan around, put a little. I don't know if you have a whole pint. I have some that are about 2/3 full, and I would put maybe a teaspoon of Darvan 7 in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Shake it up. Compare
it. Definitely thins it out.
Okay.
And it paints it on because some of them are a little chunkier, chalkier.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're trying that. So Erica and I in the studio are trying to get those problem children out.
Yes.
Add some Darvan to them and spread them and see how the comparison is.
I think that I have a theory that the reason that the Speedball underglazes are the way that they are is because Speedball is a printmaking business. Like they're in the business of printmaking and they kind of like landed in ceramics. They just like
it's like
they're
inks
kind of
and
how the United States Postal Service landed into parcels. Like
right.
like and they're like, oh yeah, thick underglaze. That makes sense because it's great for printmaking. Like I think that that's a lot of the reason why it's a little bit thicker. And a lot of people do use it for printing, like,
I see that in like some videos.
Yeah, because it dries really fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I think Tim Ceramics does it for his screen printing for the little transfers and.
No, he uses Amico.
I thought he used. Oh, does he use Amico? Okay. Yeah, whatever.
So.
He used the Speedball Emulsion stuff, I think, or somebody. Maybe Jason Burnett uses that to get it to the right consistency or something. That I'm confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Delvin and then Diana Adams from Sample House was saying they both use the Darvan, thin it out. They're like, there's way too much pigment in there. Like, spread your bottle because you can get a lot more coverage if you thin it out. So that's what I've been trying. We'll see how it goes.
I will say I reached out to Speedball because I was like, I think there's something wrong with this lot. And I like sent them photos of the numbers and everything. And they were so cool. They sent me all new stuff, but it was all the same. So I realized, okay, that's just how it is. You know what I mean? It's just, I didn't know. So I have it all. So I'm going to try that because really it's just been sitting on my shelf and I feel terrible that they sent me new stuff,
Yeah.
Still, I just realized that I didn't realize that's just how it was, but.
I don't think anybody realized that's just how it was,
And a little behind the scenes, so I'm demoing with them at NCECA, and they told me on the way soon it's coming that they are changing some of the formulas of Carmine and some of those other ones that have issues that will help with the spreadability. So we'll see. I don't know that it's there yet, but I believe in NCECA they're going to talk a little bit more about the changes coming to some of the colors that have been problem children for a bit for people. So we'll see.
Yeah. And the reason I don't like Speedball is because it's shiny.
Because it does fire with like a satiny finish for sure.
For sure, yeah. Yeah. But that's just because it's not that I don't like that. I don't like it. It's just that I don't like it.
It's not the look you're going for.
Yeah. Right. And I don't like it. And that's fine. But all I will say, their purple turned out purple. I got the royal purple and it was very purpley. So that was exciting.
Very purpley.
Very purpley.
So what are you using for your you've got some that I've seen recently that's more of like it looks kind of like a whitewash, and then you're scratching through it to the I want to say it's speckled clay underneath.
Yep,
Is that an underglaze or is that all slip?
It's standard speckled clay, and I used Mako's underglaze.
Okay.
I was using slip. I have a ton of it, but it kind of turns yellow. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. And I add like the white mason stains, and it just does this yellowing thing that I don't love. So yeah, I just use Mako's underglaze for that.
Do you use a white clay that you would make slip from, or?
Yeah, that's what I did. I used a white clay. I added some white mason stain to it, and I still get like I have a bowl that's going to be coming out that I use some of my slip, and I'll show the difference. You know what I mean? It's like slightly yellowed. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it depends on which.
I might not know.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, my Iceman clay is, white enough that I can't tell. Well, I'm usually adding color to it. I don't use it flat out like white, unless I'm joining things. But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're Mako girls, and if Mako could just get on their freaking game and start freaking sponsoring people,
right? I know, 100%.
Yeah, we'd be a perfect pair for that.
For sure.
I mean, it sounds like from your all's talking about it, and I hear Becca talk about it all the time, that like the quality is there. It's just they need some marketing folks to have that skill set behind it to
the quality
get the word out.
I love Mako products. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't understand why nobody even knows that they have underglaze. Like, it's just like, and their colors are really good.
Yeah,
maybe it's not a moneymaker for them. Maybe how much money it would cost to get them to make more money on it is not worth the trade-off.
Well,
maybe.
But they could be using social media for free, right? Just
yeah. They could be, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not. So.
And here we are. Okay. But we still actually never described your pieces.
Okay.
What does it look like?
So, I'm definitely like functional pottery. Mugs are fun. These little plant pour things. I'm sitting by all my pots. I don't know, berry bowls, just functional pottery. I've been making these little incense burners, which I can't even burn incense because I have asthma, but they're fun to make. I don't know. Like I'm always trying to make new things because I get super bored doing the same thing over and over again. I just I watch these potters that literally for like 5 years now on Instagram make the same thing and carve the exact same design. You know what I mean? And do the same thing. So I just can't do that. I'm always trying to switch things up. These plant mugs, the style that I've started doing like a year ago, they're fun, and I've been running with those because I can switch them up. You know what I mean? I can just make different plants, and they're just so different, and they're super fun. But so I kind of do carving and then paint in all of the carvings, which takes forever. So it's such a long process. And that's something, it's funny because everybody's like, well, how long does it take you? I'm like, no joke. I've tried so many times, like start timing myself, like with throwing and then like trimming. And then all of a sudden I'm like, shit, I forgot. So I don't even know like how long it actually takes me yet to make a mug from start to finish. It's terrible.
Just say something like some crazy number. Just say like each one's an hour or something.
28 years. It takes 28 years.
It's 28 years. There you go. Oh yeah. So yeah, but a lot of carving. It's just fun. I'd say that. I think that's my style. Just carving things out. A lot of plants, a lot of naturey things.
Yeah.
And gnome. I'm somehow into gnome making, and
that's fine.
It is fine. And it was like kind of just a fun little thing. I mean, they're cute, I got a lot of friends that like love them. And, but now it's every time I have a shop update, I have so many messages asking, are you going to make more of those? Are you going to make more of those? So I'm like, well, I guess I'll make some more of those. And we're still going with it.
Nice. Are you making the sculptural gnomes, like moonshine ceramics gnomes, or you're putting gnomes on?
I'm putting gnomes on mugs. I don't have them. These are all plant mugs.
So you're like painting them on.
Yes. Yeah, like this little dude. Where's the camera?
Yeah, cute as shit.
Gnome, right? Just in a little, this is, I'm still glazing it, but those,
Nice.
They're hot little dudes.
So that one, was that paint? Are you painting on some of them with underglaze, and then some of them you're sgraffitoing the designs?
So, like, this one here is like a raw clay body versus the white. Oh my gosh, this camera's tripping me out. So then once I paint it on, it's leather hard, I trim through. And then I do a little wash. I kind of switch it up. I kind of actually been using glazes. It's just expensive. Like lava or just whatever dark glazes I have, I'll rub it on and wipe it off. So that's like in the inlay. I was using my speedball brown because I had a lot of it, and it was just like, it didn't have to spread. I just put it on and wipe it off. And then, I take the stroke and coat and then color each little thing.
Oh.
And it's
Are you painting the stroke and coat, or are you squeezing the stroke and coat?
So I posted a reel. It's funny right here. I take my
you use the thingy.
Yes. Because I know you have carpal tunnel. I had carpal tunnel. I did have the surgeries, but like, I don't know. I cannot sit there and squeeze anything. My hands just get so cramped. Like I can't do the squeezing.
Broski, you need to get the freaking air pen.
Oh my gosh. When I met Isaac, he said the same thing and I couldn't remember what he said. So what is it?
It's called an air pen. It's oh God, what's the actual company? It's like an icing company.
So, I mean, it's called AirPen if that's the Instagram account.
It's Sugar Veil Air Pen. They should be are you going to NCECA this year?
So yes, it's 3.5 hours away. My husband and I are going to drive down, so we'll be there all day Friday.
Yeah, so they should be there.
Okay.
I mean, like in the past, I've seen them there. I have it, and here's the thing. No, it does not like hit you in the same way carpal tunnel hits you. Like you're not squeezing something, but you are leaving your finger over the air thingy for a continuous amount of time. So I feel like it still causes carpal tunnel. It just causes it a lot later.
Okay.
Like it's a slower.
Because of the strain of like holding it in the same position.
Yeah, if you like watered them down a little bit, I'm like doing tiny ass dots. So if you were filling something in, I bet it would be freaking great.
Okay, like this. So these little plant leaves, you're telling me you could fill those in?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. I have to check this thing out.
Yeah.
Luckily at NCECA you can actually try it out and see.
I can't wait. I'll go just for that. Like I dip it in and I like loads it all up and it just kind of drops down and I spread it along with the stylus.
I wonder if you could use if you weren't going to do that, I wonder if you could use like one of those old school fountain pens.
Oh, yes. Like a calligraphy type?
Yeah.
The one that has a little cup on it?
Oh, yeah. I'll write that down.
Because I mean, like if you were going to use like a ton of different colors, like if you had one green that was like pretty much always your leaves, I would do that in air pen and but if you had like things that were always different colors, I gotta email them or talk to them because they don't send you enough cartridges. If I had like 15 cartridges, it would be the best thing in the whole goddamn world. But they sent like 4. And so I was like, well, this doesn't really do me any good for like lots of things, Yeah. But still do all of my dots on all my cups with it, and it takes a quarter of the time.
Man, okay. I got to look into that because this is like a serious time suckage right here.
Yeah. And Liz Cohen is doing, and I bet if you put Darvan in whatever glaze you're doing, even though it is thin, it would even run a lot easier since it's hitting that edge. It won't like go over,
Yep.
But Liz Cohen, she's using squeezy brushes because she apparently has magic fingers, and like she's fine with that. But yeah, she fills it in too. She was painting it on like at the very first, and I was like, dude, bro, you gotta stop. Like that's too long, and it still takes a long time,
Yes.
But Renee Lepresti, she uses the air pen.
All right, what's her name?
Renee Lepresti.
Lepresti.
She's got a video anywhere.
I'm wrong. Yeah, look her up.
Lopres. Yeah.
She's freaking
T-I.
crazy.
All right, I'll check her out.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, those people that have the very painterly stuff, it's like, that looks beautiful, but I don't want to go through that process of applying that. Like, there's just not an efficient way to do it, except for some of the, like the air pin's a little more efficient, but it's still, you still have to spend that time to intricately paint it or apply it.
Yeah.
I'm always, go ahead.
No, go. This is your interview.
Oh, I should say I'm always kicking myself because carving is super easy, right? And just, it's so fast. And then I'm like, when I go to glaze, I'm like, oh, why the hell did I make so many leaves and, you know, all of this? I made too many, I carved too many things.
Because the alternative would be using the underglaze for the color, and then you clear coat it and hope that the color would be enough. But if it's speckled clay, you're not going to get the flat color that you.
And I want that. I hate clear over the speckle. Like, it's terrible. I like the contrast with the glossy with the natural clay body.
Yeah.
I don't do a ton of, I pretty much just use the slip on my speckled clay bodies, but you could still see the specks through it.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a glaze in that respect that it's covering it completely. So, okay. But the stroking coat completely covers it, like you can't even see specks at all.
No, you can see. I can't believe I don't have anything here.
It's like mine, Brian. Yeah. Like the specks come through. Yeah. The only time the specks wouldn't come through is if you put like a white slip that didn't have specks.
Right. Some of them are a little more opaque. If they're heavy, maybe you won't get it through a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, you can see all the speckles.
Yeah, it has like a little shine to it. It looks like, I'm looking at some of your, looks like snowmen. Or maybe they're gnomes that are just Christmas.
I will say that what I've found, I don't know if this applies to like a brown clay body like yours, but I found like when I was working with the obsidian in Utah, which is a pure black clay, which is straight from hell. And it's, I mean, it's great, but it's glazing issues. It's got a lot of glazing issues. But if I had put underglaze, like if I had lined the cup with white underglaze, just a quick line with white underglaze, and then done stroke and coat over it, it would have been perfect, you know? Yeah, and I find that if you do a quick base of underglaze under stroke and coats, it performs a lot better and it doesn't move as much. You know how sometimes it can kind of like, you know, move? Yeah, so it doesn't move as much, and that's really nice.
Okay.
Also, I finger paint.
You do? Like smudge it with your finger?
It's just like your ball tool, but you're using your finger.
Right. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your glazes, are you generally using commercial ones to get your effects on the inside and top?
So it's terrible because I have a full like closet full of dry materials. I used to mix all my own glazes. And then where I work, they just opened a little retail store and we are a Mako supplier. So I'm like, holy heck, it's terrible. I just buy glazes. I use all like Mako. I use Coyote's white liner glaze for the inside of all of my like functional, you know, all of my mugs pretty much because it's just like indestructible. It will not craze, you know, and show like the coffee or anything like that. But yeah, no, I'm just using stroke and coat now. And all my husband's always like, what are you doing with all of these chemicals in here? Like taking up like a massive amount of real estate in our storage room. But so I don't know.
You're like, maybe one day you'll get back to it, or is it you just don't want to?
I just don't want to right now.
Inventory it and sell it, yeah.
You know, it's a great time. You're driving down to NCECA. If you inventoried that now and posted on Clay Buddies, you could probably get rid of it at NCECA.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. I'm writing that down.
Like I got a bunch of dry materials in my car if somebody wants it.
I have it in labeled containers. I just be like, here's the whole container. It's
yeah, exactly. Like you're in you've literally the perfect timeline of trying to get rid of it is
That's smart. I think I might do that.
Jodie's just taking all the notes over here.
I do. I'm filling a page.
Love it. So you got all the different designs you're talking about. Sometimes you get bored with doing the same thing over. Are there more popular than others? I mean, you talked about the gnomes. Are there ones that just you kind of have to have every time?
Yeah, pretty much. I call them my little snowy dudes. And it's funny because it's like I didn't really want to make them this year, to be honest. You know what I mean? They're cute. I make them snowboarding and downhill skiing, and they're like kind of fun and cartoony. But I had so many people like excited and like I can't wait to grab one. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta make these. So I think I literally made like 12 and that's it. And I like so many people going, okay, so I didn't get one. Are you gonna make more? And I'm just like, oh,
Oh.
I really just don't feel like it. You know what I mean? That's like the thing is, it's like they'll be like, "You gonna make more bee mugs?" And I'm just like, I don't really know because I just don't know if I'm gonna feel like it. So I don't know. I don't do any custom or orders or requests or anything because it's just it's just whatever I feel like doing. So it's yeah.
Have you done customs?
Oh yes, I have, and it's terrible. I will never do it.
What's the negatives on your side so people can hear some of this
Okay, well,
and maybe avoid it or just have something in their mind of what to ask to prevent the same thing happening to them?
well, here's the problem is I had to do a custom bowl for a gentleman. He's a hunter. And he was like, "Ooh, could you do a hunting scene like carved on the outside?" And he wanted a green glaze. So I made two bowls, right? Because you've got to make sure one works out. And he has two dogs, and I carved out, around the bowl. I mean, it was like just kind of simple carvings, but I did a lot of carving. And we have this floating blue glaze at work, but it's always like this beautiful green and like kind of brown tones where I'm like, I know really heavy it goes blue, but I did it like I always do. And I open a kiln and it's like bright blue. And so I'm like showing like, oh yeah, it's not like it's gonna go on our kitchen table. So I'm like, all right, no worries. I'll do it. I got another one. I'll just glaze it like lighter. So I glaze it a lighter one and it just pitted like nobody's business. It was like it was terrible. So I like fired it again, put a little clear on it, tried to like fix them, and the bowl like split in half. So now I like make two more bowls, and I'm just like, I'm so ticked because they're big. They're taking up a lot of clay.
Yeah.
And my boss, we were like talking about it because I like a lot of my mugs are kind of like dry on the outside, with the stroke and coat, but he thought it was like too big of a piece to have like a glaze just on one side and having too much raw on the outside. Does that make sense?
Are you saying your studio person was saying it was too much stress on the pot, or the customer didn't like how much?
No. Studio person, or why it pitted, and then why it literally broke in half, like in the kiln. So I did the other one, and I put clear on the outside, which I hate doing because I just don't like the looks of it. And it did work out. It worked out. I actually had to use like a green celadon, a different glaze than what I was wanting to originally, but I needed to get this guy a bowl,
Right.
So, but yeah, and it's just like, you got to make extra for whatever you're going to make just in casers, and one girl, I used to do the slip transferring and I did these pink flowers and she's like, could you do that in blue? So I'm like, yeah, I got blue mason stain, and I mix it up and I do a 3-piece nesting bowl set. All the blue tone burned away and it was gray flowers. And I'm just like, so I'm like, listen, I'm not making it again. You can have it. I just gave her all of them, like, because, it's not at all what she wanted. And yeah, there's a few more, but I mean, I'm just not doing them anymore. I lose a lot of sleep over that stuff.
Yeah, it's tough because you got to know how much to test. Do you make a bunch of samples of and I don't know how you're applying the glaze. Some of it's limited based on like, can I dip this glaze?
Right.
Can I put enough glaze in there, swirl it around, and pour it out without it getting on the outside design? So it's like, okay, you might have to paint it on, and then are you getting a consistent coverage? And then you're like, okay, what cone does this need to fire to? Is 5 okay? Is 6 better? 6.5 best? It's hard.
I'm not that personality to take the time to do tests. It's just not in me. I'm not doing it. So I really shouldn't do custom orders because of it.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
P.S. If you refire floating blue, it turns brown.
I have
Really?
My floating blue is blue at cone 5, but if you get it to cone 6, it's more of a blue-green.
Okay.
So it goes greener the hotter mine gets.
Well, I fired a cone 6.
So,
well, I think that if you refired it to like a lower temp, it would turn brown. So here's what happened to me recently with those fancy cups that I just did, is that I used all of the Tilted Kilns glazes, and they're all Clayscapes or Mako, right? I think, or Amico or something. And one of them was like this beautiful, like dark, blacky, starry night. And then when I refired it to 03, it turned fucking poop brown.
Oh.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
and I just sold them anyway because I don't care. But I think that it does something to the glaze, and it's just like, nah.
Yeah.
And then Thistlemore Pottery recently did floating blue, and he like fired it 3 times because he was like having issues with his kiln, and it turned brown. It was like straight brown. Yeah.
Well, I just couldn't risk it again, so I just picked another glaze.
yeah.
I
Then
feel
you're
it.
risking it, like, how much stress are you putting on the pot because you keep refiring it?
Right.
Custom orders are a full bitch, man.
It's hard.
Terrible.
They're the worst.
Yeah, and then you're also not sure about the price too, because you kind of commit to a price up front, and then you're like, even if it worked out perfectly, you probably still underpriced it.
For sure. I mean, yeah, because I'm not, like accounting for the extra bowls that I've made. You know what I mean?
Even if you just made the 2 and one of them turned out perfect, like, would you still have been happy with the price you charged?
No, I think I underprice everything. So no, I mean, I have a little problem with that.
Yeah, that's harder too, because you're like, I'm trying to get the sale. You got that a little bit of like, they're gonna walk away, but also
How to price things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally did a price sheet for like a place setting, because that's the only things that I'll do custom, is a place setting, because it's like there's no testing. It's like it's this plate, it's this bowl, it's this, there's nothing else that needs to,
And you're not gonna flex and be like, can you do this in a purple? And you're gonna be like,
hearts on these plates? No, I will do one color.
Here are the color options.
Right.
Here are the color options, and here are the plates. And I don't even show the actual plates. I just showed a fucking drawing of them. And then and then I remember pricing them, and I was like, what would Rebecca price these as?
Right.
What would Rebecca price these as? And so like I'm like pricing them like $10 more than what I would price them at. And it's set in stone. It's on my phone. It's like in my favorites pictures. And if somebody asks if they want place setting, I just send it to them. And it works great. But that's the only like custom things I'll do, because the only thing they can get mad at you is how fast you got it to them.
Right. So I do pre-orders now on my shop update. However, I literally write this into the description. I'm like, your mug, I hand make all of them. Everything's free-handed, the drawings and the carvings.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee what yours is going to look like. Also, the glaze, it's going to be a cool glaze. That's all I can promise you. I don't even promise them what color they're going to get, because I don't know, like, if I'm going to be able to even get winter wood because it's never in stock, or you know what I mean? Like, whatever glaze I'm using, I can't guarantee I'm going to get my hands on it. So, and I can't believe every time I almost sell out of all my pre-orders. People don't care. You know what I mean? I'm like, just know that it's going to be cute as hell, and you're going to love it.
I think
So do you have to show do you have an assortment of like 4 of them stacked so it's different glazes, so they can kind of see
it'll
the
look similar
options?
to the ones in the photo is what I say, but there's no guarantee as to what color or what exactly what it's going to look like. And I did one time, they sent me an email, and I'm terrible at reading my emails. I'm bad. But they were like, could I get this plant in this color pot? And they like gave me all they wanted on the plant mug. Like, and I just made my own, mailed it to them, and then checked my email, and I'm like, oh, my bad. Yeah, no, I have no idea what they got, but it definitely exists to even know. So,
were they fine with it, or
They were fine. I never heard anything. So.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you didn't say that they could do that, you know? Like, they were just like, yeah, can we? It's like, can I come to your shop? I know it's closed, but can I come? No.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you can ask, but it's on me to decide if I want to.
Exactly.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so when you do your pre-orders, are you selling ship immediately items along with pre-order items?
Yeah. So like right now, I kind of make around, I don't know, 40 to 50 pieces a month. That's like all I can get out. You know what I mean? Like in a month. And then I have like a shop update. Okay. I list everything. And what was happening is because like if I only feel like making 3 bee mugs, you know, I'll open like 5 pre-orders of the bee mugs. You know what I mean? Or what if I have my little baker dude mug, if I only made like 2 for my sale, I'll open like, you know, 3 more for a pre-order. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The plant mugs I've been making, those are just killing it. Like I sell out of those all the time, and I'll open like 10 pre-orders for those, and I'll sell those too. So yeah, they're hot. Like people, there's a lot of plant lovers out there. So
I want that. I want to do that. Like, how do you, like, you sell out of everything at the beginning of the month, every month?
Yeah, it's kind of been happening. And you know what? I know. I mean, I'm never expecting it ever to happen. But it's happening. It's not like I'm not like a 2-minute sellout. It's like I'll sell, you know, almost everything. And then by the next morning I look and I'm like, oh, I sold it all.
Nice.
Nice.
Like, oh,
I
so
prefer that to a 2-minute sellout. That is too much stimulation. No.
I mean, I'm always trying to snag people's pottery and I can't get it fast enough for like years. And I'm just like, I'm done trying.
Both of us are like, they're like, I just want to be able to get it. And I'm like, you'll be fine.
No, I'll be like, hey, this is not going to sell out, but I've only got this many. So if you want it, like, there's no guarantee I'm going to keep posting these, especially when show season comes.
Right.
Like, you're not the priority when show season's here. Like, the people in person are priority.
Right.
I think they know that. But it's like, you know, I don't have a cadence of how often I post things. So how often have you been doing the shop updates to show people consistency of how long you've been doing it so that they know what to expect of the sellout?
Probably a good 3 years, maybe a little bit more.
Pretty much once a month for 3 years straight.
Yeah. Yeah. I was on Etsy. I'm on Shopify, and I went on Shopify right when COVID hit. So whatever time frame that was, coming up on 3 years ago. Before that, I was on Etsy, and I just got on Instagram like 2018. Didn't even know what the hell a hashtag was. Like I didn't know anything. So my Instagram for like a year and a half was, I wasn't doing anything right at all. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't even putting hashtags. I didn't even know what I was supposed to be doing. So that was just like a waste of
you for that long.
Yes, because you both were some of the first people I found on Instagram. And Becca, do you remember I was doing slip transferring and I was like putting slip in a little bottle? I've showed a video and you're like, girl, send me your address. And you sent me a big old syringe.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I'm like, this girl's so cool. That was awesome.
You're talking about to get it into the little bottle?
Yes, like, I mean, I don't even know what I was doing, but it was pretty
taking her,
ridiculous.
I remember that video in my mind. It was taking her like 15 minutes just to get a fucking thing of slip into a little bottle. And I was like, dude, get a fucking syringe. And so I had like extra ones in my shop. And so I just sent her some.
Yeah, she's like, give me your address right now. This is ridiculous. I'm like, mailed me the syringe. So that was awesome. But Ryan, so no joke, a year ago, September, I had like under 2,000 followers, right? So, and so I've been on Instagram though for like several years, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean? Whatever. And you were talking one time about your insights on your photos and something. And so I'm looking everywhere on my Instagram for like my insights and I don't see them. So I messaged you. Do you remember this? And I'm like, what are your insights? What are you looking at? Where do you find these? And you're like, well, you have to be a business account. You're a business account, right? I'm like, nope, I wasn't. Like, that's how ridiculous I am. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't even a business account. So it was like a year ago, September, that I made my account officially a business account. And then I could see the insights. And then so what I've been doing for, and I think this has helped get me to, I'm a little over like 9,000 followers in a year, in a few months.
You're doing
like
great.
4 years to get to 2,000 followers. But here's what I've been doing, and this might be helpful to
Me.
like your audience. So when you have in your business account, you got the little boost photo, right? The boost photo option.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sucks because it's kind of like it's a pay to play little system and I just did a little test on it. So I boost a photo now, like a couple days before I have a shop update. I pay no more than $6 and it's $2 a day for 3 days. And I will, with my insights, checking out all of the stats. Like, I mean, I'm gaining like 800 followers. You know what I mean? Like sometimes per boost for one photo.
For $6?
Yes. So sometimes I'll get like 300. So I did a little test. I haven't done it since November. Oh, I did it my last restock in like late November for Christmas. And I haven't done it since. And no joke, I was just talking to another girl who said she's doing the same thing. Like I've been losing followers daily, like 8 one day, 3 the next, another 5. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like losing followers because I haven't been doing that. And so I did a little test and I boosted a photo the other week and I've been consistently gaining again. And I'm like, oh, so it's a pay to play system, apparently.
And it's specifically a photo. It's not a reel.
No, it's just a photo. I haven't even, listen, the real thing really ticks me off. I just don't have the time to do this stuff.
Same.
I don't want to sit there and record myself. I hate it. So I'm just doing, that's just a photo.
And are they specific photos related to that restock, or is it just you look at your insights at which ones are popular in the last week and you boost the most popular one further?
Well, I do. No, I guess I don't really think I look at it that deep, actually. I think I just pick like the photo that I think is the coolest. And it usually obviously is something that's going to be available in that next restock.
Okay.
But I don't really even look at what you just said, like what.
Okay. And I'm curious about the captions too, because I've heard, I think it's just out there that like if you use the word shop or link in bio or stuff like that in the captions, that it's like it's salesy and maybe
I've never even done that. I mean, I'll say this guy's going to be available in my next restock. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. And then I just do all the hashtags that I, look around at all these other successful potters and looking at what their hashtags are. I've gathered some of that data.
Yeah.
That
nice. And you're able to see the followers because you can see the insights on that sponsored post or boosted post.
From this post, you've gained this many followers. It'll tell you like men and women. Actually, it's like gives you a lot of information.
Wow.
Yeah.
For 3 days, 800 people. That's crazy.
Yes. I mean, and it tells you. I mean, when you're doing it, it asks you some questions. Do you want people to bring? Do you want to be people that brought to your profile, your website, whatever? I would just say my profile. Do you want to target them through, I think, maybe if I suggested hashtags, or do you want like Instagram's algorithm to just take care of it? I would just let Instagram take care of it. And I think that's like the only questions they ask for that. And then how much do you want to spend?
I'm fucking doing this right now.
I mean, honestly, and no joke, like last September, I think I hit like 2,000 followers and I'm always like, oh my gosh, it's like awesome. And then, so now I'm like a little over 9,000 followers in a year.
So can you also see how many people are going to your website from your Instagram? So I would suspect a lot of the people that are buying from you are coming from Instagram.
Yeah, they are. So with my Shopify, you guys don't have Shopify?
I don't know.
Okay. So like in the analytics of it, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And I'm sure like all e-commerce platforms have this information, but it breaks everything down. It tells me all of my customers that come from Instagram. And it also tells me what comes from promotions. And that's what I don't know. I'm like, it can't be, is it tied to it somehow? It can't be. Maybe
it's kind of like a cookie. They know that your device has engaged with this thing. It's kind of like an Instagram cookie or like a Facebook cookie.
Okay.
And then it tracks you across the different platforms is kind of the way it works. So if they were to go into Facebook from somewhere, they know that you came from there.
That's a whole nother language that I don't speak, but you just made sense of that for me though. Yeah, it'll say like $1,200 were, from your promotion sale, you know what I mean? For sales for promotions of the year. it totally breaks all. I have all that information. It's quite fascinating how deep it goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then do you do an email list or anything like that as well?
So my Shopify comes with an email subscription, and I think I can send out like no more than 10,000 a month before I have to pay.
10,000 emails or to 10,000 people?
10,000
well, I guess emails.
people. I don't know, or emails. I don't even know.
Maybe it's emails.
I just know I'm never going to be anywhere near that either way, so it doesn't really matter.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. I'm boosting my post right now. Okay. And it's $15 over 3 days. So what do you usually do? Your budget. Do you usually do $6 over $3
over 3 days? A total of $6.
$6 over 3 days.
So $2 a day for 3 days. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, $6 over 3 days. Okay, so $6 for the full 3 days. Okay, and that gives you 5,500 to 15,000 estimated reach. If you were going to do like $10, it'd be a lot more. Like if you're going to do $12 over 3 days, it'd be 6,100 to 16,000. Okay.
Exposed to that post, yes, of like new people.
And then you do it over 3 days. Okay, and I did. I let Instagram choose my audience.
Yeah.
Okay. Preview ad goal, audience automatic, payment ad, boom, boost post.
All right.
Becca got it done in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So I have no idea what you talked about.
So the good thing is about that is you are paying for somebody to come in, but if you think about it, once somebody becomes a new follower, and you should kind of recognize this, if you follow somebody new, you will start to see some of their most recent. I think Instagram gives you their most recent post first, maybe, but then they start cycling in like, okay, did you like their most recent? If you liked it, then the next time we show you, maybe we're going to show you their next most popular post in the last like week.
Yeah.
So then you're going to start seeing it kind of trickle on your other content. So if you're producing good content, good photos, good reels, instructional things, then it's just going to snowball, and that person's going to get to know you more and like your content deeper.
Yeah.
Than somebody that may have just stumbled upon you randomly. I mean, plus it's kind of nice to see a sponsored post that's not selling you something. It's just showing you art. So
also, I wanted to tell you that I lose like 120 followers a week. I do. People are like, fuck you.
How much do you post every week?
A lot. I gain like 400 followers a week. I post.
Yeah.
I'm doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lose a lot. I don't know. I've lost a lot over the last 2 months.
I mean, that's fine. I think that it's a ebbs and flows, right? You know.
Right.
You gotta figure out what you like to post, that it doesn't become a chore.
Well, that's just it. And then like these reels, it's like I have such limited time. Excuse me. I've got 2 teenagers that are like in sports, and like all through like August through like November, I'm like at games like 4 nights of the week between my daughter's volleyball, my son's soccer. So I don't have time to like, I barely have enough time to make what I need to make. I don't have time to set up a camera and then like edit it. You know what I mean?
Are you sitting there at a volleyball game, like editing a thing when your child's not playing? You're just like editing a video?
No.
She's drinking mimosas with her friends at games. That's what she's doing.
No, my kids are like badasses out there. You can't look away. It's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good to have good kids.
It is. It's cool.
I was going to say also, last week, I don't know if this is because I said I was retiring or not, which was a lie, but like, I had a post of just like a cup, and I was like, I guess I can retire now, and everybody thought it was serious, but I got 100 likes on that post.
Not everybody thought you were serious. Mostly the Facebook crowd thought you were serious.
Literally, like, all these old ladies are like, oh, we're so sad to see you go, but your next adventure will be great. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I have to pay for this van. Like, anyway, it was just a picture and it got 800 likes. So I feel like, yeah, I haven't stopped doing pictures just like you.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a lie. That whole like reels are the deal, you know? I mean, I know that it was true, but also pictures are fine too. Like pictures are kind of, yeah.
You know,
you reinvigorated me with this Boost Post thing. Like everybody can afford $6.
yes.
And if you're going to get sales out of that, it's not worth you it's like you're discounting a piece for $6.
Absolutely.
You can't afford to discount one piece for $6.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Quite possibly the best news we've had on the podcast in some time.
I thought everybody knew this, and I thought that I was the only one like that wasn't doing this.
I assumed pictures were dead unless you put audio on it. I was like, I mean, maybe 6 months ago, any picture posted was dead. But now if you put a video on it or audio, I keep saying video. If you put audio with it, it's like, okay, Instagram kind of wants to show it to some people now.
Yeah, no,
but now we know.
Yeah.
Here we go. Mind blown.
A moment of silence for the boosted post.
Yeah, let's. I'm excited to hear how it's going.
I forgot my questions now.
I know.
Okay, so when you're, and you mentioned like mixing up some of the designs and stuff, are you going in based on the season as well? You're just kind of mixing up what you feel like doing, and obviously you're not making Christmas gnomes right now or candy cane things, so.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely kind of follow the seasons, you know, like in fall, which is my birthday month, you know, time, and it's my favorite season. I'll do like Farmer Charlie gnome month. And I'll do like apple orchardy, you know what I mean? Like they're so much fun. And then those damn pumpkins, which, oh my gosh, the pumpkins, I was making those and now I have no desire to make those anymore. Isn't that crazy? Like,
like making the physical pumpkins, not putting pumpkin designs.
I don't really care to make them anymore. And
I see people make pumpkins, and I'm like, I'm never going down that road.
Yeah, I mean, they are fun to make, but they are very time consuming. And I just, I don't know. I lost the love of making pumpkins, so I don't know that they're going to happen this fall.
Isaac Shoe makes.
Yeah, I see that.
He makes like 1,000 pumpkins, doesn't he?
Yeah. A lot of fucking pumpkins. And he told me that he's doing like 5 a day. He's starting now. He's just doing 5 a day. Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, where do you store 1,000 pumpkins?
Exactly.
Starting in January.
Yeah, you can't stack those motherfuckers. They got stems.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a new studio space, so hopefully that's his old studio, is the pumpkin. Yeah. Pumpkin, what do you call it? The pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
The pumpkin patch.
Oh yeah, his studios. My studio is tight. It's a room in my basement. I'm in there now. It's like 9 by 12, but then there's like a wall cut out, so it's not even like a full square.
Yeah. You got a sink in there. That's nice.
We do. I got a sink. Yeah. It's small, but it's like we live in a bungalow, like 1,200 square feet.
Oh, nice.
My kiln's out in the garage, so I have these big bins. So I have to carry everything out 12 mugs at a time out to my garage. So times 50 pieces, and then I got to bring them all back in the house to glaze, and I have to carry them all back out. And Michigan, we get all this weather, so sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to do it, but
you work with what you got.
Yeah, I am. I'm working with what I got. Honestly, like my studio space, I don't really need anything bigger than this. It suits everything I need. It's perfect. Like my racks, when I fill them up, that's all my kiln can accommodate anyways. And I don't have room to store extra. You know what I mean? Like I can't like get ahead because I don't have any room to put any of it. Like our house is like pretty packed. So
was the studio that you teach at, did they ever offer like you studio space, and why would you yes or no?
Yeah, no, working there, my boss, he's always like, oh my gosh, I could go there all the time and make stuff like unlimited. He would be totally fine with that. But I just can't be there. You know what I mean? I have to be home, working. It's just much easier to be here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with my kids' schedule, I can come home, work 2 hours, and then head to a game or something. You know what I mean? And then come home and maybe work another hour and a half. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, having that flexibility, having your own space, you don't have to worry about, okay,
Yeah.
is the heat killing like my
Oh,
pots right now
yeah.
at the studio, and do I have to worry about uncovering my car or
Oh,
how the
yeah.
road's going to be or
And nothing's drying in that studio right now. It's like so cold. So it's awesome. I have a door and I have a dehumidifier, so I can like close the door, put the dehumidifier on. The next morning, everything's leather hard, ready to trim. And then literally, I can like handle everything, and I can have everything dried out in another 24 hours if I really wanted.
Yeah.
It's like kind of awesome.
Yeah. That is one thing that the humidity does really well for the humidity and the cold does really well for pottery. It's like you can time it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Brian, ask her the questions.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. The questions that I sent you.
Yeah. Okay, so you had a couple of fun questions for us.
Okay.
You said, and I don't. Okay, I think I know my answer for this. Okay, what is your guilty pleasure?
Oh.
This
Well,
could be anything. This could be
oh,
food.
yeah. No,
This
I
could be
have one.
like
And usually,
entertainment, or it could be anything.
so every night for the past 3 years, and I'm not exaggerating, it's almost every night, my husband and I, we play Fortnite for like an hour.
I fucking love this.
Yeah.
Never played it.
It's amazing. I love it. I grew up like my brothers and I, we just loved like Atari and Sega, when it came out. I love gaming. And my son's a gamer. And it was like, COVID hits, and my son, what's he gonna do? He's gaming. So my husband's like, oh my God, he's just whatever. So I'm sitting there playing Call of Duty with him and stuff. I'm like, you know what? It's kind of fun. I'm like, you should try it. So literally, we all just started gaming together. And so now my son's like, oh my God, he's like, he's done with us. But we play with my friend's husband. And now we play with his 19-year-old college kid who we just met one time, like every single night. It's like so much fun. It's just, like some people drink wine and whatever. We don't, this is like the way we unwind. I don't even watch TV, but it's sad though, because I'll be out with some friends on a rare occasion, and they'll like send a text. We have like a group text, and they're like showing their stats and their gaming, and if they win, and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was there.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh, we got 15 minutes until we go," and you're like, "Sorry, guys. Sorry,
yeah,
everybody.
no,
I
I'm
gotta
like,
go."
dang it. I kind of wish I was home right now.
You're like, "Oh, you gotta get home to the kids." It's like, no, we got a group thing we're doing.
Yeah, I want to go play Fortnite. So yeah, that's mine. So what's yours?
Oh, I went food route. I went flaming hot Cheetos. I don't know.
That is your guilty pleasure though. Like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, like he can smash a whole bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
could
so
never do
much.
that.
Love
I
them.
can't even handle
Flamin'
tobacco.
hot Cheetos or flamin' hot fries. They're not the same maker. Maybe they're Lay's. I don't know, but they're both good.
I don't know. Oh man, I can't do spicy.
Crunchy Cheetos, not the puffs or any of the other.
Like,
I feel like there's so many flaming hots these days that it's got ridiculous. Becca, I didn't finish that flaming hot Mountain Dew you gave me. I didn't drink any more since you gave it to me. It was.
Yeah. I got it. I found it at the grocery store, and I was like, we have to try it. I didn't plan on finishing it. It was just funny. Yeah.
What's yours, Becca?
This sounds really fucking dumb.
I feel like I know yours, but.
Well, you probably don't actually. I don't know.
Well, I have an idea of one, but.
I really love goldfish with Skittles.
Ooh.
I know that's did you think that was it?
No, I was thinking entertainment. I was thinking you were gonna say The Bachelor or something.
Oh, definitely The Bachelor. For sure The Bachelor. Like if we're going for entertainment, The Bachelor. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I fucking love watching The Bachelor and making fun of everybody. Like it's so great.
I've watched a few Bachelors. It is pretty fun.
Like let's be clear here. I don't watch The Bachelor because I like The Bachelor. I watch The Bachelor because I like to make fun of The Bachelor. There is
awkward.
there is no investment. there's like no investment. But I haven't been watching a lot of TV recently. So, but I have thought about watching the newest season, but it's getting a little bit much, I do
Yeah, I
feel.
haven't watched it in a few years, but I don't really know what's going on this season.
Yeah, but I like Skittles and Goldfish, and it's a sweet and salty. I know that people think it sounds really weird, but don't knock it till you try it.
I'm gonna try it. I wrote it on my pad here. Big
Yeah,
circle on it.
I don't know why any fruity candy with Goldfish is like my thing.
Okay.
I remember like when I was in high school, so this this might be triggering for some people, but like when I was in high school, I was on like so many diets because like the Midwest, like I've been on a single diet on the goddamn planet. And I remember one time I just like I think it was on Weight Watchers or something like that, and I went down to my brother's room and I just fucking ate so many goldfish and sour ropes. Like it was
like
the
Sour
best.
Patch?
Sour ropes. My
The
kids
sour
love
ropes.
those.
What are sour ropes?
I
don't like them.
I need to Google these here.
The punch straws, the sour punch straws.
Oh, that's what I said, Sour Punch.
Yeah, sour punch straws, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those. I just ate like an entire thing of goldfish in those, and I was like, this is the best.
Ooh, they got them right next. I just Googled them. They got them right next to the Airhead strips.
Oh, yeah.
The Power Belt, the Extremes. Ooh, those are good too.
Fucking love fruity candy.
I love candy. I'd take that over chocolate any day. I need the sugary candy.
I love candy as well, for sure.
Rachel loves the chocolate.
Excuse me.
I can say no to chocolate, but if you fucking offer me a gummy bear, no thank you. Like
same, like the Haribo gummy bears. Those are so good.
I brought my friend got me Haribo gummy bears from Germany because they're different.
Oh, they are.
If I have them at NCECA and we meet up, I will give you some.
Oh, man.
And I have them in my van, and I took them to the show, and I was like giving them to everybody.
Oh, wow.
The lady across from me was from Holland, and I gave her the rest of the bag, and she was like, "Thank you so much."
Oh, that's awesome. I actually like to open them and let them go stale and then eat them. It's amazing.
Like jujubes. Did you ever have jujubes?
Yes.
Love jujubes.
I like those stale as well. Like I like stale candy.
Me too. We're weird. It's fine.
You know what else I love, Becca? With one of your podcasts, anytime I open a can of black olives, they all go on my fingers and I eat them all. Like,
yes.
I'm like, yeah, that's what you do with black olives.
And like, I've never even cooked with olives, really. I just eat them. Like, I've never actually cooked with them. Yeah.
Gross.
Delicious.
The new guilty pleasure that's going to be for years to come are the nerd clusters. They better not ever get rid of those things.
Yeah.
Everybody's discovering the nerd clusters.
Sticky rope or no?
Yes. 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 So they're the nerd clusters. They were voted the #1 candy in 2020. And yes.
They've been around that long?
Yes. And you can get them at Target and they're so good. You can get them other places too, but they're so fucking good.
If people want to make us happy at NCECA, just give us a little bit of nerd clusters.
Yeah. They used to have a nerd blizzard.
Oh, yes, I think I do remember that.
Yeah, that was my favorite blizzard, and then they discontinued it because nobody likes nerds.
Your teeth.
Hard nerds.
Tooth chippers, I don't know.
If they did nerd cluster blizzard, I think it would be better.
We went to like a kids' play place for the nieces and nephews recently, and they had a slushy. So like slush puppy, and then they put nerds on top.
Oh, yeah.
And you suck that thing up, and it's like, and you're fighting on a nerd. It's like,
I should probably turn on the lights.
No, you went
yeah, it's a little. Geez, you're on the West Coast. It's well, it's about 5 o'clock there. So all right.
It's 5:14.
Okay.
Yeah. What's our another question? What's another question that's fun?
All right. The other question was, what's the first thing you would purchase if you won the lottery?
Oh my gosh, I do remember asking that now. I couldn't remember these questions. We ask this all the time. Like when we drive to our place up north all the time, and these are questions as a family we ask each other. And we don't even play the lottery. We're like, what would we do if we won the lottery?
Yeah.
Like we need to actually start playing the damn lottery.
Right.
Yeah. So, gosh, I don't even know. I don't even think I'm meant to have that kind of money because I can't even like fathom spending it. But I don't even know.
Would you pay off your house?
That's
Yes.
the first thing I thought of.
I mean, I'd want to go house shopping for sure,
Yeah.
right? That would take so much time. And then probably want to build a house. Yeah. Okay. I'd pay off my house for sure and my cabin.
Okay. I think that's reasonable. I would pay off my van and then build it out to be nice.
Yeah.
Build it out, yeah.
And
Would
have
you
a
pay?
skylight.
Would you pay somebody to do that?
Fuck yeah, I would. I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just have to get somewhere and be like, okay, where are you building this at? And then you got to find somebody you know there. Or you just pay for a hotel and stay at a hotel
like
for
rent an Airbnb for
3 weeks or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Rent a beautiful Airbnb.
Yeah. Take the cats. They're sleeping.
Pets included. Pets allowed. Yeah, I immediately thought the house, and then I was like, I feel like I would need to buy something that I wouldn't splurge on normally. Like, what would I splurge on?
Car.
Would you say?
Like a car? Like a sports car or something?
I don't think I would get a car. I would probably, Rachel would love it if we got like an Airstream or something like that.
Okay, that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Like
you'd have to get a truck.
A decked out Airstream. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, she wants an Airstream sometime, and I'm like, we're gonna need a truck because you can't just pull that behind a
you're right.
Any SUV. And then I'm like, I gotta learn how to drive that, and she's gotta learn how to drive that.
It's
not. You gotta learn how to back it up. Most importantly.
I can teach you.
That scares me. The backing up part.
Oh, you go to the dump enough times, you'll figure it out real quick.
Right.
Oh, with a trailer? Yeah, I've never backed up. I've never even hooked up a trailer or anything.
Oh, we do it all the time. My husband's very like, the girls are going to do everything the boys are going to do. And my daughter, we drive tractors and we have to back up trailers all the time. And it might take like a half an hour and 45 tries, but we get it done.
That's right.
And
did you have to ease up to that, or was it from necessity you had to do it?
Well, he's just like, hey, go move that trailer. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay. I'm like, because I grew up with it totally different. I have 2 older brothers, and just, my parents are a little old school. Like, I feel terrible if they're going to listen to this, but my dad, I don't know. My dad was like, no, you don't need to. They rode snowmobiles and dirt bikes, but I never got to ride them because I was a girl. The boys could take the boat out, like the rowboat, meaning I was never allowed to, even like at 20 years old. You know what I mean? They're like, you don't take the boat out. So I just,
that's going to resonate with a lot of people, though. I'm totally relate to that and see that with other people.
Yeah. And that's just not how it goes. Like, my daughter's been riding a dirt bike since she was like 7, and my husband's just the total opposite. He's just like, no, go do it. And if you can't do it, go figure it out. So he's like encourages both my daughter and myself, to do it and try it. And it's awesome. He's a very patient person. So literally, like, it might take us forever and he'll sit there and wait. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. I was going to ask you, is it a side-by-side thing, or do you get stressed out when...
Oh, I get stressed out, but she doesn't. He'll be like, just calm down. Just take your time. You got it. Like.
What a wonderful man.
He is very wonderful. Yeah.
That's so great because, like, it's so different when somebody's like, figure it out, and then they get fucking pissed at you after 4 tries. And it's just like, you told me to figure this out.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome. I had to figure everything out. Well, I've had a lot of like one-time lessons in my life. Like, here, let me show you how to do this. Okay, go. Like, go drive a trailer across 10 states. Have fun. But I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good now just because of that. But really, what did it for me, the trailer situation, what did it for me was really going to the dump so many times with my friend's trailer. I remember the first time the guy at the dump had to back it up for me. Like, because I just couldn't figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, because you have to go the opposite way, Ryan.
You do? Yes.
It's a mind bender.
I could see that.
excuse me,
Yeah.
whole new way of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, usually with Rachel, it's, if I'm right, she will not back up a vehicle. And usually I'm pretty patient with it, like, hey, we can do this. And she'll be like, no, I'm just not going to do it. And I'll be like, come on, give it a try. She'll be like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'll be like, come on, I'll be patient with you. But also sometimes I can come across as like, okay, here's what you do. Listen to what I'm asking you to do. Think about what I'm telling you. Try it. See, and then some of it's like you can kind of figure it out, like the way you're moving, so that you need to counter it with this. And
right.
sometimes it comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it doesn't, but I mean, you got to work harder to figure out what's happening. But so usually she'll just like avoid certain things.
Right.
That though, his family can be loud. Not that they're mad. They're just like, do it this way. No, do it this way. And all of them together could, like the extended family and everything, I don't think that I'm going to back up a vehicle with that around me. Yeah. They're wonderful. Like I said, they're wonderful. They have a lot to say.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, like and I could see that. But
you
okay.
can't be too much of a sponge, and then everything's filling in all at once and it's overflowing, and you're like, I can't take this in.
I can't.
Yeah. Okay. That was our other question.
That was it.
Becca, did you say what you would do with the lottery thing? You said your van. Okay.
I'd probably do the van. I think that I'd probably pay off my mom's house too.
Yeah.
And then buy my brother a house.
Yeah. I would help the siblings.
I'm kidding. My sister lives with my parents, so I'm like, she can suck it. No, she would benefit from the parental situation. But yeah, I'd buy my brother a small house for sure. Yeah.
We had another question for you.
Okay.
Besides many others, but what kind of kiln do you have?
Oh, I bought a new Scott. It's literally like 2 months.
It's not the right answers, Jodie. Come on. No, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
27. You're not.
I'm just kidding. Okay, you got a new Scott. Go ahead.
I got a Scott 1027. It's amazing.
Did you get the fancy screen?
I did. But my garage has no Wi-Fi, so it's literally useless. Like I can't really use my phone. So I know.
Wait, it can't span to your house? It's just not close enough, or what?
It's not close enough. Like everything's in the basement. I don't know. I'm sure we could like get an extender, whatever, but
it still keeps the memories of your firings and all that stuff. It just stores it, and you just can't see it from your phone or whatever.
Yeah. So like, like I have to go out there to check the temp still, instead of looking at my phone.
Okay.
I might have a Wi-Fi extender in Rebecca's studio in Indiana, and if I do, I'll grab it and bring it to.
Are they expensive? Like they're probably like not even. Oh, they are.
They're like $100, like good ones. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, anyway, we have to do. So
we were asking you that because we just got sponsored by L&L.
And
so we were queuing you up. We didn't actually know what kiln you had. And we're not going to shit on Scott, but we got to talk about the L&L stuff.
But we do want to talk about L&L and why we like them.
Oh, sure. I'd love to hear about L&L.
Do y'all use those at the studio, or have you had any experience with L&L before?
No, I haven't. We only have Scott at the studio I teach at as well.
Oh, so have you ever taken your elements out?
No, I haven't had to yet. I just had to replace the thermocouple.
You got a brand new kiln.
I'll
see how the brand new kiln works. I've never had a brand new kiln, so.
Yeah.
Well,
with L&L, they have these little they have what are they called?
What are they called, Becca?
They're called element channels, and you can you put the elements in, and you don't even have to pin them in. They're just they're the same material as the kiln stilts.
The kiln furniture, yeah.
And you put them in, and then you don't have to do anything. It's the easiest freaking element replacement in the whole entire world. And when you get when you have to change out your elements, you'll be like, man, I wish I had a Scott. And
you do have a Scott. You wish you had an L&L. That's what you should have said. That.
I'm so bad at this. But anyway, it is quite nice. And Brian, do you have anything to say about it?
No, you said it.
It actually sounds awesome because the way the Scott, like my elements are kind of dropped down behind the kiln brick, which is super soft, and I can't imagine like pulling it out without doing that, honestly. So that actually sounds like
you just gotta be careful. I mean, sometimes the elements will slouch and kind of sag.
Yeah.
So
heat them up. Do you heat yours before you pull them out?
I don't.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have the channel, so you're not gonna break anything or risk anything because you're just pulling it out of a piece of a kiln furniture essentially. So it's not gonna break any brick. But and you don't create a bunch of dust when you're pulling it out. Yeah, I used to, gotta make sure you pull all the pins out, throw all the pins in the bottom or whatever, and then just pull them out gently.
The thing that you'll want to do when you do pull out your bricks, or not bricks, when you do pull out your elements, is you'll want to find pins that are U-shaped. And I think they don't sell them at Scud or anything. I think that you have to like find them, or you could make your own just with Kanthal wire, honestly, and just do U-shaped ones because then you can like go over the element itself. And a lot of the pins are just straight. And you can find that you can get the straight ones and bend them too, but they're just straight and they like, it's just a lot easier if you do in the U shape. Then you can just like pin it down.
I kind of noticed that in our work kilns, they're just straight pins everywhere. And I'm like,
it makes no sense.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, if you've got the bricks that aren't broken and whatnot, then they should stay in the channels.
You would think.
But they can kind of sag out sometimes.
Mine is still good, but
Nice. Well, when you get to that point, just make sure you do the U ones. I don't know. However, I'm not a professional in the sense of I don't know if the U shape interferes with the heat of the element, but it hasn't ever had an issue with me. So yeah.
All right. The only thing left to book in that is where do you find it, Becca?
Oh, at potkilns.com.
Nice. So are you sponsored by them right now?
Yeah, we just started our sponsorship. Our first episode went out on Saturday. So
that's awesome.
You're our first interview where we have to talk about it. So we're just playing it into conversation. We'll see how this goes with our next interview that is not clay related at all, which should be interesting, but
we'll just be like, pause.
Little info commercial. Well, cool. Well, I'll check out L&L Kilns for sure.
You'll the next one in 40 years.
Are you looking
down in the next 20 years?
Yeah.
L&L.
Are you looking forward to the kiln maintenance that you're having to? I mean, you got the new kiln.
No. That's not my cup of tea. I'm dreading it. I'm hoping that my husband wants to do it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. He's probably gonna be like, "Well, I'll watch."
I know. He probably will, but you know what? He's like, with the thermocouple, I didn't know how to do it. It's obviously very simple. And he was like, well, here, let me open the thing for you, all that. And he's like, well, here, so he ended up doing it. But so it's just the bending over with all the stuff. I'm like, if he volunteers, I'm not going to say no. But he's like, he'll be interested to see how it all goes together. Like at my work, I see it all, you know what I mean? He's going to want to be interested in seeing how it all goes together. So I know he's going to want to do it.
Yeah. Well, a little piece of advice, that top comes off. You can take the whole top off and put it on like a table next to you. Yeah. That's made it a lot easier for me in the past.
Yes, I definitely would plan on doing that for sure.
Yeah. It's a little heavy, but it's worth it.
Plus, the more you know about the maintenance and what goes on inside it, the less worrisome you can be about, am I going to burn my house down?
Right. Right.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're not as scary. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I did burn down the outlet melted.
Oh no. With the new kiln?
Yes, with my new kiln, and I'm going to get all this wrong.
Didn't you call L&L? Didn't something happen? Or not L&L? Didn't you call it Scott? Didn't something happen? Like,
no, my neighbor's an electrician, and so my kiln shut off, like shut the breaker, did everything right, so nothing burned down. But what my electrician said was, and this is where he said my cord, he didn't think was big enough from Scott, that came with it. And the draw from the electrical panel, even though it was like supposed to be, that's why I don't know the numbers. I don't want to, like, you know what I mean? Let's pretend.
It's probably a 60 amp breaker for a 50 amp kiln.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. My neighbor was like, who's an electrician, he's like, yeah, that sounds all good, but when you're drawing that amount of electricity for 12 hours, 14 hours, it's too long. You need to go higher. And what happens is the little metal things start rattling loose, and then they touch and melt, like the plastic and stuff like that. So he replaced all of that and he upped everything, and I've not had a problem.
Yeah. And also, if you wanted to make sure, like, really get it super sound, you could just have him hardwired in, so it's not a plug.
Yes.
It's just like that's the safest way to have a kiln, is just to hardwire it in.
Yeah.
So, and it's easy. It's easy, a piece of cake. But yeah.
It's nice to have the contacts that know the electrical stuff, though.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Because otherwise, that could be expensive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I paid them.
As long as you also, they know what they're doing, so that you don't try to go around to somebody that knows electrical stuff.
No, he's like a licensed electrician. I was good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
Yeah. One time I got my stuff done by a non-licensed electrician, and then I had it done by a licensed electrician, and then we had to get everything checked out, and it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah, right.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
and I didn't choose the first electrician, by the way. That was not my choice. That was somebody else, my landlord. But yeah, so it is important and fun and all the things.
I had a follow-up question about customer stuff. So in the past, you've asked us about handling return customers, and do you give them something? Do you discount something? You want to show some kind of appreciation to your return customers. Yeah. I was wondering how that's changed over time. What do you do right now?
I don't. I stopped all of that. Okay. The only thing I've been doing, because I would say like every shop update, I get like 2 Canadian customers, and I had like 2 Alaskan customers that are paying like $50 some to ship a mug. I gave them each like a spoon rest, as a surprise. Like they're going to open their package and because they're just paying so much money in shipping, and I just feel terrible. But no, I stopped. In fact, when I started, I was like, I would get like, 7 orders, off my Etsy. I was like wrapping everything and tying hemp, twine around it, making it as really cute. Holy heck. I'm like, just like, it's like a tornado. I don't even care. I just shove it in. Like, it's not even about presentation at all anymore. And no, I give stickers. I get stickers, off Shein. It's like 50 for $1.50, and I'll put a few stickers in everybody's cup, but that's all I do. I just can't really afford. I don't have time to make extra stuff right now. I literally barely have enough time to make what I want to make. So, now that I just have more customers, I just can't do that anymore. So yes, nope, not don't have to worry about that anymore.
Nice.
I'm just
good on you.
Yeah, I think that the whole like cottage, like barn house situation that's going on, that is hopefully phasing out sometime soon. I think it's super toxic because it's like, oh, everything inside your stuff has to be really nice. And it's like, okay, but like if the lemonade at the lemonade stand is good, it doesn't matter what the lemonade stand looks like. Right. Like, it's very specific things in this world that, like, Chinese restaurants, you expect them to be shitty on the inside. Like, and you expect their food to be delicious. Like, why can't it be like that for everybody?
You're right. Like, yeah.
If you don't see that board that's been up there since 1990, that's got the same pictures, like, I don't know how good this place is going to be.
Yeah, right. If they painted their walls recently, I'm out. Yeah. Like, peace out, motherfucker. No. But like, yeah, I just think that it's really a bummer because, like, hello, you're getting this piece that is absolutely unbelievable, and you're expecting it to be packaged unbelievably and sent with extra things unbelievably and, free shipping and all the things. And it's like, no.
No, I know. And I was doing that. Like, here's the funny thing too, is, like Facebook, I have a Mudslinging Pottery on my Facebook, but I barely ever do anything with it because it's like mostly friends and family. This is like kind of funny. So before, I would just get Facebook messages, of friends going, "Hey, can I get that mug?" Or, "Hey, can I snag 2 of these? Hey, can I get that berry bowl?" You know what I mean? And I'm a people pleaser, truly. Like, I hate disappointing people. It's very hard for me to say no. The older I get, it's getting a little easier, but I still, things, it bothers me, and that's just who I am. So I stopped posting I don't post on Facebook anymore, like hardly ever. My mother will like post, "Hey, Jodie's having a shop update." I'll like text her. I'm like, "Take that down." And what I don't do is I don't check any Facebook messages until after my restock. And then I'll go and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sold out." And it's like, I feel bad, but I do feel like I need to give them some sort of a discount, right? I don't know why, because I always have. And I feel like I have to it'd be weird to not. So I don't even want to like bother that. But aside, like doing side hustle, it is so easy to like just have a shop update. It's all on my Shopify. I can print off the label, put it in a box, stick the label on, put it on my front porch to be picked up. These side hustles where it's like, oh my God, so-and-so's texting me, they're going to pay through PayPal. This one's going to pay through Venmo, but they're Instagram messaging, or this is Facebook. Like, it is so stressful. And then scheduling when they're going to come by to pick it up, or, oh, they want me to drop it off. And it's like, I'm like so stressed out with the little side hustles. I just totally quit doing that. And I kind of quit by like taking Facebook out of the picture because it was like my friends and family.
Do you think that's a education thing where your friends and family don't know the seriousness and the professionalism of the business, that they just think that you're just Jodie, they've known you for years, that they see you at things and they don't know everything that's going on in your world?
Probably. I don't think anybody would have any idea the amount of like stress that actually puts on me. And I don't think like they expect the discount. I don't think they do. I think they know that this is like a real business. You know what I mean? They see it, but it's me. I feel bad then. But the way I explain it, and I have, is, I only can make 40 to 50 items a month, right? And I have this customer, like clientele kind of like built up right now. And so through my Instagram, through the weeks of making, I'm, posting pictures of my process and like what's going to be available. And that's like my marketing, right? That's time I'm putting into all of that. And then, it was one time in particular, I had one woman at work. She was like, "I'd like these 4 mugs." And another one was like, "I'll take these 2. My neighbor came over wanting 1 mug. And she's like, "I want these 4." And I'm like, "Well, hold on. I'm supposed to have like 40 mugs available. And like right now, like 12 or 15 are going to be gone." You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, that's now my customer base. Like, what if I don't have what I said is going to be available? You know what I mean? They're going to just whatever. They're not going to take me serious. And they could maybe stop coming shopping. Right. I don't know. So
how do you transition that conversation to say, you're kind of just any other customer, get in line kind of, or follow me? Like, what do you normally do? Do you normally say, I have a system?
I avoid the messages now. I don't answer anything. So I don't, but I have had to say like, yeah, the update's at 8:00. So just hop on there. And so I'll number my mugs and I'm like, put in the search the number mug you want, and you'll be able, and Apple Pay it and you'll get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have had to do that, and I will lose sleep over that. Like, that will like
it's hard because you're like, I thought we've known you for years. Like, why do I have to go through these hoops to get something when you live next door to me? But also, like,
yeah, I know it sounds terrible
playing
when
favorites,
you out loud. I'm like, I'm so appreciative of anybody that wants to buy anything I make, like, for real. But because I can make like kind of like a small quantity, it's like bad for business. Do you know what I mean? So
and it's also, what's funny about this is that you're literally like people pleasing fighting yourself. You're like, well, I would like my customers to be happy, but I would also like you to be happy, but I want my customers to be happy. So they're going to have, I mean, and you're making the right decision, by the way. But like, yeah, it's so funny how you're like, you're like, just, we all go through it, right? It's so frustrating. Like, I usually am like, well, it's easier if you just buy it online, honestly, you know, and I just quickly dismiss them like that. But yeah, it's so hard to like have that conversation with people.
It is. It eats at me. I lose sleep over it. It's terrible. I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's tough because I had like an aunt or something that's, she's like 70 or 60 something, and I'm like, she's probably not gonna buy it online, but she expects that I'm just gonna like bring it home sometime. Like, show me the bottles, I like this color. But like the back and forth you have to go through because they're not tech savvy, that if you post it online and say, go to this site and buy it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, can you bring it to Louisville the next time? It's like, I would rather you pay for shipping and I just ship it to your doorstep and it'll be there in 2 days.
Yes. Like the process of that is so much easier.
Yeah.
Like what I don't like is, like I was saying, just, this person's paying PayPal, Venmo, cash, whatever. It's like keeping all that straight. It's just, it gives me a headache.
I would rather just like, if they come and pick it up, I'd be like, I'll refund your shipping. No problem. You just have to pay for it originally.
Yes. Yeah. And I do that. The ones that do that, I totally do that.
Yeah. My mom asked me to make her 2 mugs, or 1 mug that was like 20 ounces because my mom's crazy, and like tall, and it has to be thin, it has to be light. There's a lot of qualifications in this mug. And I knew that I would not, I mean, I could make it, I could do it, but I knew that I could also buy it from somebody else.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot less hassle. So that's what I did.
I love it.
I texted Ashley Ball and I was like, hey, my mom wants a mug. Can you just bring me one that's red? And she loves it. It's her favorite.
That's perfect. Love it.
Offload. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you, kind of separate topic, how do you manage you've kind of touched on it, the family time, the studio time, and how's that changed as the kids have grown? You've been in this a long time.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting you haven't been selling to this stage for that long, but.
Years ago, I did street fairs and like craft shows and sold in a few little consignment boutiques up in northern Michigan. And that was like pre-kids. And then when my kids were little, it just got to be a lot, the whole setting up. And gosh, Michigan, there was always like a torrential downpour, during any street fair show that. So this whole like online thing too is just like awesome. You know what I mean? I'm not going back to the street fairs or craft shows or anything like that. But so when my kids were little, I took a break. I kind of didn't do it. And now it's like, they're 15 and 17. You know what I mean? They get it. They're kind of like, excited. The irony is neither one have any flipping interest in any art. It's so annoying.
Oh, so you're not getting them to come in the studio and help you out.
Oh my gosh. So no, I've offered them. I'm like, do you want to, my daughter's a cashier, like a fruit market, but she'll be like, oh, they only give me 1 day. I just want to make more money. And I'm like, I'll pay you $25 a week. All you have to do is like sweep my floor, vacuum it, mind you, a 9x12 room, a size of a bedroom, and like run the mop over the floor. $100 a month I'll pay her. And she is like, no, God, I'm not doing that. Zero interest. My son either. I'm like, oh man, like please. Yeah.
No, you're like, I could make you do this without paying you.
Yeah, I know, right? So but yeah, no, this is a very busy time in my life with teenagers. Their lives are very busy. If they have a paper due or my son has a huge speech due tomorrow, we're devoting like, a lot of time all last week and over the weekend to help them prepare for it. You know what I mean? Like I have to be ready to drop whatever I have going on because they're first priority. And kicking it old school because I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, which was amazing. It's exactly what I wanted to do. But I've kind of formed some bad habits because I'm the one who grocery shops and cooks all the dinners and like cleans the house still. You know what I mean? And like, but now I'm like working full time. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm still, excuse me, doing all of that. So I'm like, I think something's got to change a little bit. But so yeah, it does get a little hard. You know what I mean? So pretty much like my laundry room's to the right now. You literally have to walk over a sea of like towels right now. So like, yeah, pottery's coming first right now. You know what I mean? My priorities are my kids first, you know, squeezing the pottery, and my housework comes later.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's all I can do.
And the main pottery commitment is as long as you have some kind of update every month.
Yes.
Whether that's 20 pieces or 50 pieces or whatever.
Yeah, I'm always shooting for like 40 to 50 pieces. That's always my goal. And I usually can do all that in like 2 throwing sessions. Like, you know what I mean? And then I can carve them out in like a couple days, and then it's the glazing, which takes me like a couple weeks. Like really. So, and that's what I do.
Okay. Do you have to use damp boxes a lot to keep the stages manageable, or?
No, what I was saying, with this room, with the dehumidifier and the door, I can like dry things out really quick. And so if I have the best bags from my daughter's fruit market, so I'll have to wrap up everything individually. You know what I mean? Like if I'm like, okay, I can't get to it. So yeah, that's what I'll do if I'm like, if something comes up, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't have to leave for work the 2 days till 9 in the morning. So when my kids leave at 7:30, I come down here and get like an hour and a half in.
Nice.
You know, those days too. Get a lot done, you know? I don't know. I'm just always in here doing something.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I was thinking, okay, it dries out and then you got to handle it. Plus you got to be able to put some underglaze on it and carve it. So that's very finite time.
I'm always in here doing something, and usually like, okay, wrapping some things up because I didn't get to them, you know? And then, yeah.
That probably keeps your pieces a little more one of a kind too, because you're doing it in spurts.
Yep. I usually have like 25 pieces all in the same, you know, stage of, you know, working.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my life. It's crazy busy right now. And I know, and I love it though. I wouldn't change it. You know what I mean? Like you know, I'm like, one day my kids are going to be out of the house and I'm going to have a whole lot of free time on my hands. So, but I'm enjoying this.
Is that helping as they're 17 and 15? Are they the 17-year-old driving age? So they're
drives. No, it's their sports though. They're still like, you know, they have games, and I'm not missing a game. Like, and it's funny, I never played sports in high school. I'm like super unathletic. I was in like art and music, you know. So this is weird for me, but like I live for their sports right now. I'm like loving it. It's so cool. So I'm not missing anything. So, but yeah, it's like 2 hours every night if you have a game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what I'm doing.
And then you get that to socialize a little bit. I'm sure you're socializing it, teaching and whatnot with other people. So.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. Yes. Got a nice little community friendship.
Are you generally pretty more introverted or extroverted?
Oh, I know you guys always talk about that. I'm definitely more of like an extrovert type person. You know what I mean? I'm a people person, but I totally love my alone time too. You know what I mean? Like I have no problem being alone. And it's funny, like I've been in situations where we'll have to drive, like, I don't know, there's so many times this happened where, you know, they're like, well, let's all drive together like for an hour. And I've made things up to like get out of it just because I want to drive by myself and just be in my own thoughts and either just jam out to whatever I want, like, you know. So I mean, but then I love being around people, you know, like where we have a place up in northern Michigan, and my husband, he probably could have built a place out in like, you know, 50 acres around nobody, but I wanted to be with people. So we have a place that's in like a little association, and we have neighbors, you know what I mean? And there's like a community pool and, you know, the lake, because I want to be around people. I do. But I just enjoy my alone time. So what do you call it when you're a mash of that?
You're
extroverted introvert?
No, you're an introverted extrovert.
Okay.
You're an introverted extrovert. So you're an actual extrovert, but you can still like pull those introverted qualities out.
Yeah.
So I'm an extroverted introvert, and so is Ron.
So you're not going to be overwhelmed with NCECA.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
And we will.
You will.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I get to meet you guys.
Oh, we'll get to meet.
Oh, well, yeah.
We'll definitely cross paths.
Okay. I've never been to NCECA. This will be my first time.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna love it.
Going right for that air pen, I'll tell you that. That's the first little demo.
Air pen for sure.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of stimulation. So
what do y'all like to do as a family then? You mentioned the place in northern Michigan.
Yeah.
What do y'all do outside of? Yeah, obviously it's a lot of activities with the kids.
It is.
Right now.
We have a lot of fun. We have snowmobiles. We have a razor. We have dirt bikes and four-wheelers.
A razor? Like a razor scooter?
No, like a like a four-person off-road thing.
Oh,
There.
like a gator, but
Polaris razor.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's awesome. So that's all. Like, we just have a lot of toys. We're just toy people, and it's fun.
That's
Yes. Then we go skiing and snowboarding. I don't know, we just try to stay like just active and just doing stuff, We'll go shoot at the range right now. We just got a membership. There's a shooting range that just opened up. So it's like our new thing. We're just going to shoot targets. It's so fun.
that's great.
Yeah. So a lot of that. Movies. I love watching movies. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Me too.
So yeah.
Are you doing that in the background at the studio? You're watching something on an iPad or?
I listen to podcasts.
Oh, okay.
I listen to you guys and a bunch of crime podcasts, which is not good. My family wants me to stop because I'm getting paranoid. So
I just listened to Undetermined is the one I just listened to over the last few weeks, which is like a
down.
That was it was a crime podcast. There was somebody that their death certificate said undetermined, so they were trying to investigate. Like it was kind of in a limbo period because they couldn't really do anything with it. So it wasn't super grisly and all that stuff, but it was more like the police investigative kind of thing. But,
yeah, which I find really interesting. Like I can get into those.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when you got a family of, it's just the four of you?
Yep, just the four of us. Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty going on. You can socialize plenty with the four of you and figure out things to do.
Yeah, it's fun.
Sweet. Did you all go as a group together y'all went to the Michigan Pottery Tour last year? Because I saw you met Isaac there.
I did. Yeah, my mom and I went, actually. My mom takes my pottery class, and she's an artist. She's like an amazing painter and
so cute.
Yeah, she like is a high school. She like designed and made my prom dresses. Like she's kind of the person who can do anything. And I knew she would love clay. So she's been taking my class for like 5 years now. She's good. She's just like does her thing now. It's awesome. So her and I went to the Michigan Pottery Tour. And yes, when I saw it and I met Sarah. What's kind of funny is like with Sarah, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I heard you on Becca and Ryan's podcast. I'm like, oh, I just love them. And like I said, I feel like I know you guys, you know what I mean? I listen to you every week. And then the kind of the same thing with Isaac. And then he's like, so where did you meet them? I'm like, oh yeah, no, I've never actually met them. And I'm like, okay, I need to stop acting like I actually know them.
No, I do that. It's fine. Yeah. So, well, you couldn't have picked like they're like the best people to be that way with, They're like Isaac's such a awesome person and so is Sarah. So
there's some people you can just like gel with that you don't really have to have met them and you're like, okay, like we can converse even though it's not through a screen. You can there's not like awkward moments. You can just kind of figure it out.
Yeah. For sure. That was so cool that thing. And then my mom won. So have you ever gone to one of those?
No, we're gonna go this year, I think.
Yeah, it's cool. So every stop, they give you a card to get stamped, and you put it in the thing. So I think there were 9 stops.
Okay.
And so we made all stops, and then my mom just got in the mail from one stop. However many potters there, they all donate something. My mom got like 6 pieces of pottery.
Oh my gosh!
Like she won the raffle of that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So did you have to hit all 9 to get into the drawing?
Yes. Yep. You had to hit all 9. So we were like rushing our last one. Wow. So we spent all of our money, like way too much money. So I'm like, cannot spend any more money. So yeah, we hit all 9 and she won, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a nice surprise.
Yeah, it was. She's like, guess what I got in the mail? So yeah.
That's
Sweet.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I'll do that again for sure. And then
Yeah,
there's something called Michigan Mud I want to go check out too in Traverse City.
Oh yeah. And a week after that, have you heard of Beal Pottery?
No.
They're in northern Indiana, so
Beale.
yeah, Beale. She's I don't know, this isn't confirmed. I should probably text her and make sure that I'm okay with saying this, but sometime after the Michiana Pottery Tour, or like 1 or 2 weeks after, they're gonna have a grand opening because they're opening like a cool little studio up in like northern Indiana. So
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so they wanted to like they're pretty close to the Michiana Pottery Tour stuff, so
yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be fun too. Like there's just a lot of stuff happening, you know?
I feel like
yeah.
Like his pottery, has it always been this big, or is it just something happening and everybody's just getting into this?
I'm sure social media is a big factor in that. Whether it's new people getting into it or because you're kind of in your own world, right? Like if you didn't have social media, you probably wouldn't know the scope of all the potters unless you go to a conference like NCECA and you see. But there's a lot of people that don't even go to NCECA that are in their own world.
Yeah,
and
I've never done.
They're doing their own thing, and so I think it's just a way to connect to people on a daily basis, many times a day.
Yeah, it's
that
amazing.
You can just see the scope of what's possible.
Yeah.
So it's great for the medium and great for the industry, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it helps the businesses of they make the products, whether it's L&L or Scud or Speedball, all these products that they get advertising. People get to cross pollinate like what they like about it and what's possible with those products, and it's just good for the business of ceramics as a whole. Like so I don't know.
They're in Westville, Indiana. It took me that long to figure it out.
Westville?
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
It's right on the border of something, isn't it?
Yeah. Illinois, I think.
Okay.
Check it out. Okay.
Yeah, we're making a family trip up to Detroit and Cleveland this summer.
Wow.
So yeah.
What are you gonna do in Detroit?
So we're a baseball family.
Okay.
And we're actually going up. We did this last year too. We're going up with my wife, Rachel, and then my parents, and then my grandfather goes with us as well because he hasn't seen a ton of parks. So we take to go to a bunch of different ballparks and.
All right, and hit Comerica Park.
Kind of make it work, yeah. So we'll go to Detroit, Comerica, and then we'll go to Cleveland. Is it still called Progressive Field? I don't know. But we've been to both of those before, but I haven't been to Detroit's park since I was probably 12. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you then. Like they've just, oh my gosh, Detroit downtown, they've done so much. It's absolutely beautiful.
I can't wait to go because the last time I was in Detroit was in 2012.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's just awesome. And they're just doing more and more. They're just putting so much money into it. It's awesome. Love it.
Have you lived there most of your life?
Yeah. Yeah. I could be downtown Detroit in 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm originally from Dearborn, which is like a bigger city right there. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't go to Detroit my whole life. We go to like ball games and things like that. But now my kids and I will go down Campus Martius in winter. They have all these shops that are like, it's just so beautiful. Little igloo set up and.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't know if you know this, do you know that, Ryan, that they literally, like, Detroit was the poorest city in, like...
I mean, I kind of knew some of that,
Ryan,
yeah. After the 2008 stuff.
Yeah.
Hit the city pretty hard, and I know the water stuff in Flint. I don't know how close that is to Detroit, but...
No, we're like a little over an hour from Flint, but... so that wasn't a direct effect, really. No, Detroit's come a long way, Yeah.
And like,
really
didn't
good
didn't it become like after 2008, a lot of artists started moving there, right? Because
Yeah.
because it was so cheap to buy a house. It was like $5,000 for a house.
Oh, for sure.
And so you could buy a house, and so that it basically became like an artist haven. And now I'm sure that's the result. This is the result.
Yeah. There's a huge section. It's over by Eastern Market, and there's like just artist residencies. You know what I mean? That they've like put up with these old buildings, and they've like turned them into like these lofts and stuff. And then I'm like, oh man, I wish I was like 21 again. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, it'd be a different path, and it just sounds so cool. But
yeah,
it's so cool.
But then you wouldn't learn how to pack up a trailer.
Right, I know, and now I do. I know how to. I can back up a trailer. So yeah.
Drive all these ATVs and winter vehicles that are fun.
It's a good time.
Well, plus I guess being that far north, it's so grueling of winters that they figure out things that are active that you can do in that weather that you don't have to be a skier or whatever. They've got, like you mentioned, the igloos and things like that. Like they figure out how to keep people active and out and about during the winter instead of like, okay, let's hibernate for 5 months or 6 months and then we'll be back out when it's spring.
I know everybody I know they like hate winter. I'm like, well, you just have to find winter's activities. You know what I mean? And then winter's not terrible. It's like kind of fun, and you have to have the right gear. Like we have really expensive gear, and you know when you're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna spend what on that? But then we're outside, it can be 20 below, and we're not cold. You know what I mean? And all of our friends that don't have that gear are like freezing. So you know what I mean? You're like, okay, and it's gonna last forever. You know what I mean? Like mine. And my husband's at least, and now my daughter, she's done growing. My son's 15 and he's 6'2". he's still growing. So
oh no.
I know my husband's still just under 6'5", so he's got a little ways to go still. But yeah, our place is in Gaylord, Michigan, and it's literally in the snow belt. So like we get so much snow. It's amazing. This winter's been terrible, but
okay. I'm used to the worst snow we get is already melted within like a few days. Like the most you're gonna get at the recently has been like maybe you'll get 6 inches, but it'll be melted within a week, maybe.
Yeah,
not even that normally.
I was appalled with Indiana and the snow and cold situation because it's like it is cold enough for snow, but I swear to God, when it snows, it becomes less cold. It's like. And then they get snow, and then they don't plow any of the off-roads. So, like, nobody can drive because nobody has a car for it. And I'm, like, in my four-wheel drive, car, just kicking it. But, like, it's appalling. It is appalling, the amount of snow prep that Indiana has. And it is a middle-of-the-country state. It's just ridiculous. I don't get it.
That's funny.
I don't get it.
They didn't get that much. They didn't get a lot of snow down there.
No. Yeah, they don't. And
maybe they're just pinching their pennies with the little budget they have to do the snowplow, and they're like, we're saving this for that big dump of snow we're going to get. So we don't want to do it on this one that's not much. I don't know.
I thought I was moving to a state with snow. I was like, great. It's going to be like all 4 seasons is going to be great. No, it is cold. It's just a freezing season. It's not a winter season. It's a freezing season.
If I'm cold, I want snow. You know what I mean? I want a ton of it.
Yeah.
Cold's not fun if you.
Otherwise, it's gray, right?
Yeah, it's so gloomy.
Yeah. Like, I don't even mind digging my car out. I don't care.
Me neither. I like it. I'm praying to get dumped on all the time. I love it.
Makes you feel accomplished.
Yeah. Like making your bed in the morning. It's like the upper Midwest version of making your bed in the morning. It's just digging out your car.
Becca, I've asked a ton of questions. Do you have any last questions for Jodie before we depart?
What's your favorite flavor of pudding? Chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And I like cook and serve, and I like it hot. You ever have hot pudding, cook and serve?
No.
It's the jam. You got to do it.
Oh,
is that a brand name, Cook and Serve?
Yeah, cook and Jello brand.
It's Jello, but it's cook and serve.
So you got to cook it with milk. I mean, I don't know if the box gives you the option to use water, but I would use milk.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's heaven. and I'll make a whole batch of like 6 coffee mugs, and once a year, I eat them all in one sitting, like just one after another. And then I don't feel good after. I'm not gonna lie. I feel pretty sick.
As
But
you should.
it's worth it.
As you should.
And my family knows. They're like, "Oh gosh, she's getting hot pudding ready."
That's your food guilty pleasure.
That
Cooking
is my
hot
food.
pudding.
That's absolutely my food guilty pleasure for sure.
Oh,
Hot pudding.
you know what Ryan's television guilty pleasure is? Seventh Heaven.
I've watched some Seventh Heaven. I haven't
never
watched in a
seen that.
while.
I've never seen that.
It's
Is that on Netflix?
I don't think so. No, it was an old ABC family show.
I remember.
So it was like a pastor and his family, and there were 7 kids, and yeah, they go through the growth of being kids, and then they, experiment with drugs and alcohol and make bad decisions, and it's kind of like teaching lessons for kids.
Okay.
I would say guilty pleasure. I mean, I watched it when I was a kid, and then I rented it from the library and watched the whole series. I mean, maybe that's a guilty pleasure, but
I don't know. You watch the weirdest old shit. Like
I like MacGyver. Is that a guilty pleasure?
That's a guilty pleasure for sure, because that's old.
That is old.
I used to watch that when I was a kid. I would go to that or Saved by the Bell, I think, when I was a kid. I would go over to my grandparents' house, and I think it was during the summer. My parents would drop me off before they went to work, and I would spend my summers at their house, and I would so drowsy, I don't want to do anything, and I'd turn on, maybe it's MacGyver, or maybe it's Saved by the Bell, and you watch that until you fall back asleep, and then,
Yeah. I watched
That's it.
You watch what?
I watched MTV as a teen.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if we watched, I don't know. Yeah, no, we watched some evening shows like Family Ties, and I'm older than you guys, so you guys were littler. Growing Pains, did you guys watch that?
I watched a little bit of Growing Pains.
Every single day.
Oh, that's some good shows.
Watch Growing Pains, Family Ties, the one with Steve Urkel.
Family Matters. That's
Family
Steve
Matters.
Urkel.
Like, I watched all those shows.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like, Roseanne, I feel like I was like, I don't know, maybe it's because my brother or something, like I always watched all those shows. I would stay up and sneak watching TV to watch Cheers.
Oh, we watched Cheers, yes.
Yeah.
Love Cheers.
Yeah, me too.
That was on Netflix for a period. I don't know if that's still on there, but
I need to look at that. That would be fun to kind of revisit.
It was on there, yeah.
Do you know what Patty came up with a bunch of names for my van, and you'll appreciate this because you like Cheers. And so she wants to name, I think the running name for the van, like the top pick right now, is Cliff Clayvan.
That's perfect. I go for that too. Put me on for that vote.
Cliff Clayvan.
That is amazing.
What's the reference? I'm guessing his name's Cliff. Is that the guy that's got the postal worker at Cheers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the postal worker.
What's his name? Is his name actually Clay something?
Is it Clavin?
No, I think it's like Cliff. It's something close. It's something.
I don't know if they did like the last names. I don't know. Fraser.
Cliff Clavin. CLAVIN.
Then that's it. Yeah.
Clavin. There we go. Yeah. Cliff Clayvan. Cliff Clayvan.
That's awesome.
That's
I like
great.
that.
I think it's settled, Becca. That's the name.
That's it. That's the name. I can't wait until I do my video, and I'll be like, "This is my van, Cliff Clayvan." Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, well, you should probably get back to helping your kid out with his paper or his big
speech.
He's got a speech tomorrow.
Yeah.
That shit was stressful. That shit was stressful back then. I don't remember doing speeches, but I remember that in college doing the public speaking class.
I met my husband in our college speech class, and just terrible. I was always like the worst. They were terrible. I did not do a good job, but it was like I was like an out of body experience. It was bad. I feel so bad for him that he has to do this in the morning.
So y'all met each other in that class?
Yeah, we did.
Did you connect over like how much you hated doing public speaking or something? Or
no, my husband's the total opposite. He's like incredible at it. Like him and my daughter And my son and I are like, and my daughter and my husband, like my daughter would be like, if they go to a Catholic school and if they're like, oh, who wants to volunteer to read in front of 500 congregation, my daughter's like hand can't go up high enough. And I would have been like, oh my God, hell no. As an adult, like, no, I don't even want to read one sentence in front of anybody. And my son's like that. And my husband, he could do that, no problem. And he can present things. And yeah.
Something about like a confidence level, but also not stressing about all the things that could go wrong. Something about just
wasn't my jam.
Can wing it and it's going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be stressed if it wasn't perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't very good at
it. Okay. Well, tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs and things.
Okay, well, Instagram is probably the best place to find me, and that's mudslinging_pottery. I'm on Facebook. I think that's just Mudslinging Pottery. I don't even know. And I actually do have a TikTok account, but I don't really do anything with it because that's like another thing I just don't really have time to figure out. But I posted a few videos.
This one time.
There's like 8, and I have like barely any followers, but you can go there and follow me.
And when's your next update? Do you have the date for the next update?
No, and that's one more thing I can share. I used to set a date like weeks in advance, and then I would really get stressed out because like things would come up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it, and I was like terrible. So now I don't give a date until like
you have your profile right now says the Mugger Load Mug restock happening November 26th. Time TBD.
Yeah, so I never even updated that. Look at that.
Ooh.
I gotta go do that. I'm pretty bad. Oh yeah. So no, this one will be. I will put the exact date about 3 days before.
Okay.
And then it makes it like stress free. But I mean, yeah, it's like next week sometime. I have a bunch of stuff to glaze, and I will go in the kiln maybe Thursday, unload it Friday. And then, when I photograph it and list it. So yeah, maybe next Wednesday. I don't know.
Okay. Sweet. So they won't be able to get that one, but the next ones will probably be in a month from now. So it'll probably be
you'll get 3 days notice.
In March.
There you go. Join the mailing list. Maybe you'll get in the know.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with us. You're lovely.
Well, thank you. This is so
much thanks, fun. Jodie. We'll be seeing you here in a couple months. Well, about a month, a little over a month.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll hunt you guys down right after I get that air pen.
That's right. All right.
Well, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Jodie. You too.
You too. Bye.